Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining me today. This is Meredith from The Healing Hummingbird. It has been a hot minute since I've posted a public video like this, but we are sitting in this huge, release of the supermoon energy, big manifestations coming in. So I was just feeling so aligned and inspired to film this tonight. So how are you? Oh my gosh, I've missed you so much. There have been a lot of life changes for me. You might have noticed one on my finger, but I will probably post a personal update at some point because all the things are happening. Anything that could possibly be happening, big exciting life changes are pretty much happening. So, but anyway, I'm so excited to connect with you today. Quick reminder that the Victory of Light or Body, Mind, Spirit Expo is coming to town next weekend, and I will be returning in a new booth. So that will be in the Sharonville Convention Center Saturday and Sunday. I think that's the November 23rd and 24th. And my booth number is 917. So if you're familiar with the new layout, they just redid all the conference areas. There's this huge middle room, and I will be in that room. So if you will be in town, please come find me at least to say hi. I'd love to catch up with you. I will be offering clearings and readings as usual. So, okay. Now that we've been reintroduced and we've caught up just a little bit, let's settle into the space of this reading. With the supermoon and all the huge changes going on in my life, I felt the best energy, or best question rather, to ask for this reading is, what changes, what rebirth is happening for you by the end of the year? So for the end of 2024, that's the focus of the reading, just what do we need to know? What areas are you going to see some positive rebirth transformation? So let's go ahead and just take a couple of easy breaths together. Let's just take an easy inhale. Little pause at the top of that, and then let it all go. Okay, so just clearing our minds, inviting our spirit guides in, any angels and ancestors, anyone who's here to communicate for the highest good of all. And we're just asking, what rebirth is coming by the end of 2024? You might get a color or a feeling, or one of these objects or decks could pop out at you, and you just know that that is your group. So we will be pulling cards from all of these for all of you, but these are just signifiers for each group. So for group number 1, you have this little puffy heart crystal. I believe this is carnelian, but crystal friends in the chat, please let me know. And then this is your good old-fashioned Rider-Waite tarot deck, really taking it back to the basics. For group number 2, we have this beautiful green leaf. I'm thinking moss agate, again, unsure. And then this beautiful deck is the Prism Oracle. And lastly, for group number 3, we have the Sandstone Bison and the Moonology Oracle deck. So take a moment here if you need to. Feel free to pause the video to select the pile that is resonating most for you. Click one of the timestamps listed down below, either in the description or the comments, and I will see you at the top of your reading. So for those of you who chose group number 1 with this adorable puffy carnelian heart, let's go ahead and get your messages about the end of 2024. So what big rebirth or transformation is coming into your life by the end of the year? I do want to pause here and ask for your permission to connect to your energy and deliver Spirit's messages tonight. Okay, I always love to take that step. It just keeps things really bright and light and ethical, and the channel of communication super clear. Okay, Spirit, so for group number 1, all right, we'll take that top. That's a bit too many, though. What rebirth is coming in for them by the end of the year? Ooh, okay. We'll start with that. So we have the Queen of Cups, Justice, and the Two of Wands. Okay, so the Queen of Cups, I'm feeling that is you, group number 1. This is someone who is very emotionally intelligent, very compassionate, just has a full, loving heart, really genuinely wanting to help and support and nurture others. This is a motherly energy as well. She's coming out, or you are coming out rather, with Justice and Two of Wands. So you could be planning something in the future. Often this has to do with travel, so maybe you will travel by the end of the year and you're wondering how the trip is going to play out. There could be some stuff to take care of before you travel. With Justice, it could be like making sure that your passport is up to date, making sure that your identification is kosher, everything is good to go. So Justice can sometimes mean like official documentation needs to be revisited, and also just checks and balances in general. Okay, let me see if I'm getting anything else before we start pulling out some clarifiers. Seeing a lot of water here, so for those of you who are traveling, it could like literally be overseas, over a sea or ocean, or you could be near a body of water wherever you're staying. Okay, so I'm feeling like there's immediately a couple subgroups here. So we've got travelers, and we've also got people like on a healing journey. With all of this water, that's usually like the emotional body or your emotional state. So you could be looking ahead at healing some relationships. So for example, this planning card, that's really what the Two of Wands is all about. You could know that with the holidays coming up, you're going to see some people that might be a little bit challenging, or maybe there was a challenge there in the past, and you're just really wanting to like maintain agency over yourself and have good composure, because you're the Queen of Wands. You really care about other people having a good time. You might even be hosting people. So you're just really wanting things to stay like fair and logical and balanced with Justice here. Like, okay, so maybe there's people around you, or you know you will be around, maybe they don't get along, and you're like, okay, how can I like seat people appropriately or just make sure there isn't like an issue? Okay, excellent. So we've got an interesting combination of groups here. Let's go ahead and get some clarifiers with the Prism Oracle deck. I absolutely love this deck. Ooh. Yeah, we've got Disruption. We've got one more in here for you. Okay, really clear cut. Okay. Beautiful message for you here, group number 1. So I feel like whichever group you resonated with here, either the traveler or the host, or maybe like, you're going to a family gathering of some kind, you've put quite a lot of your energy and heart into planning this thing and really wanting things to be executed smoothly and for things to go well. So I'm sensing some worry about a disruption of these plans, like maybe someone doesn't show up on time, or again, there might be like some kind of disagreement, or just needing to double check like your reservations, your paperwork, your passport. Just need to make sure everything is in order. Spirit here is asking you to have faith, even if there is a little hiccup along the way. I don't see anything major coming in between you and the loving experience that you've like designed. I feel like you've taken a lot of time to think through this, like what dates and times would work best for us. What are we going to do at the beginning of the day? What are we going to do at the end of the night? Like whether it's a trip or an event, I feel like you've put a lot of heart and soul into this. And even this, like the card of faith is reminding me of people around a table. So Spirit here is saying like the connections have already been made. You've essentially designed and manifested this experience. It's already in motion. Nothing really is going to disrupt it. Even if there is some little like, okay, I just needed to renew this, or, call and confirm a reservation. Or even if somebody has a moment at dinner, like Thanksgiving or Christmas, if you celebrate that, it'll blow over really fast. Okay, so nothing to worry about here. That is your main message. So let's move into some advice for group number 1. This is a spirit animal deck. It's one of my oldest decks. I absolutely love it. And I think it can offer really sound advice, especially when you're dealing with a lot of different personalities. And you, group number 1, I feel like you are. There's going to be a lot of people involved in the end of your year. Okay, so advice for group number 1. What types of energies will they be dealing with? Okay, so we have for you the Swan and Tarantula. Okay. I just feel like there's some very different personalities in your family. So it could be like siblings that are like total opposites, or maybe you feel totally opposite from somebody in maybe your sibling, something like that. Okay. So I'm feeling you over here as the Swan. I feel like you're really reflective. Like you just think a lot about how things are going to go and how things went. So you might find yourself replaying conversations in your head and thinking, I wonder how the other person took that. I hope they understood me correctly. Like you're just so considerate. I feel like you see pieces of yourself in other people, and that allows you to have such a deep compassion for others. So such a beautiful quality that you bring to your family and really to anybody. There could be someone, though, especially for the person who has an upcoming event with family, who might be a little bit reactive, who might be a little bit defensive, with the tarantula here. But the message of the tarantula isn't really like, watch out. It's not like a scary warning or anything. It's kind of like, if you observe yourself or someone else reacting strongly, to like get curious about that. Like, okay, what was that? Was that some kind of fear? Was that feeling a little exposed or insecure? And what does that mean? Another message with the tarantula here is about timing. So waiting for just the right moment to strike, or in this situation, like to talk. I feel like you could really help this person work through a lot of that. reactivity. I feel like you know that. Maybe you've tried that in the past, but I mean, it's really on them whether they are open to that or not. Okay. Yeah, so you might encounter someone kind of going like, ah, or just having a weird reaction, whether it's at dinner or like during your trip, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal. If anything, you might just feel really like a lot of compassion for them. I just feel like you have an understanding like, oh, that was stressful, or they're in a stressful situation. They're dealing with a lot. Okay, so everything's looking great. All right. How about, what else do you have to look forward to for group number 1? Let's round out their reading with some abundance cards for them. So what does group number 1 have to look forward to with their trip, with their event? Maybe it's both. It's that time of year. What does group number 1 have to look forward to? Your path. And energetic clearing. So something I mentioned in the beginning of this video is coming right on back to you here. So especially during like a supermoon or a full moon, that's an opportunity for something to come in or for your path to be illuminated for you. Just getting really clear on what's next, or actually receiving like a big gift or blessing or manifestation. To make way for that, however, sometimes things need to be cleared. So I can see you like before the event, making sure you have what you need in your purse, or you've got stuff in your car as a backup, or maybe you're bringing a dish, or you are the host and you're like cleaning and making sure that everything feels good and light and bright, so that a beautiful experience shared between friends and family can come into the space. Does that make sense? So it's almost like you set the scene, you set the tone, and then it comes in. Just like the trip, you clear out the itinerary, you call and confirm your reservations, you make sure all of your paperwork, I keep getting that, so really double check your stuff if you're traveling, especially abroad. Make sure you've got your passport in order, and the copy of the passport. That just came in really clearly too, so double check all that stuff. You've got it locked down. Then all you have to do is show up and have an incredible experience. So group number 1, these are the messages I received for you. I hope that resonated or was helpful in some way. You've got an excellent end of the year coming up. I am so excited for you. I will go ahead and step back from your energy at this time. Again, just making things really light, bright, and ethically clear. Thank you so much for sharing your time and energy with me today, and I hope to see you back very, very soon. Take care. Bye. Hello, group number 2. If you chose this adorable green leaf crystal, let's go ahead and start getting your messages for what's coming in by the end of the year. And I can't believe I did this. The other crystal was still here, so I honestly feel like that's a message for you, group number 2. If you were torn between 1 and 2, I think there's messages for you in that group if you wanted to go back and watch. So I do want to take an extra step here and ask for your permission to connect to your energy and deliver Spirit's messages tonight, group number 2. Okay, I love taking that extra step. I think it just keeps things really, really light and positive, and it just makes the channel of communication that much clearer for me. So thank you for taking that extra step. So let's go ahead and start with your selected deck and start to get some messages for you, group number 2. So what rebirth, what changes are coming in by the end of the year? Whoa, for group number 2. I feel like there might be one more here for you. I'm feeling this energy of like really wanting to simplify something, like easy as 1, 2, 3. So that might be something that you are focusing on by the end of the year. Wow. We got some intensity here. So we have surrender, peace, and anger. Okay. So we could be dealing with a situation that has a lot of anger infused into it. This could be like, you know, a person that's coming to mind that just feels very angry, or someone who's made you very angry, someone who really hurt you or confused you in some way, and you just had this big, you know, blast of anger, and now you're working, almost feeling like you're having to take steps back to find peace, to surrender, to not sit in this anger. This feels like an old cycle. So this could be like a toxic workplace, for example, or dealing with the same emotional state over and over and over again. So for example, like a parent that it's just really difficult to make amends with. I feel like you are wanting to turn over a new leaf here, and you are wanting to enact change. So I think that that's going to be the main focus here, is like really healing yourself from an unhealthy dynamic that's taken place in a relationship, or for some of you, workplace. But let's start to get some tarot on the table. That'll really help clarify the dynamic here. Okay. For some, I'm getting immediately that it might be uncomfortable to experience or express anger. That could be something you often stop yourself from expressing. But very, very important to get that out, to cleanse and release that, or express it in some way. Because, man, if you don't, it'll just like kind of sit there, and you might turn it in on yourself, and that's not good. Like, it can really impact your health when your emotional states are not being recognized or expressed at all. Okay, let's get one more for you, group number 2. Good for you, though. You're a change maker. You are the one enacting this change. We need more people like you. Okay. So, no surprise here. We've got some powerful cards for you. We have the Death card, the 8 of Swords, and the Knight of Swords. Okay. Let me just make sure you can see all this. Okay. So let's immediately talk about the Death card, right? That's really kind of the backbone of this reading. Death really just means transformation. So please don't be alarmed by that. I know we're using the old school tarot today, so you're like, whoa, there's like a knight with a skull for a face, looking pretty ominous. I promise it's not. Because again, we're dealing with so much anger that really needs to be released. We really do need to transform that. Okay. Yeah, whether it's, I feel like it's really a combination of like another person's anger you've perceived a lot, and then your own anger and pain is just really has been uncomfortable for you. So again, it could be a dynamic between like a parent and a child, or something that just felt like I'm stuck. Like it's someone that I didn't choose. You know what I mean? Like you can't choose that. So there is this energy of being stuck for a while. With this 8 of Swords, though, the good news is, let me see if I can show you a little bit closer. This is really a card of like self-limitation or self-limiting beliefs. She can like walk out of there. Like she's not imprisoned or anything. It just feels like that. Okay, so it might have felt safer to completely remove yourself from this person or totally avoid them for a while. That brought you peace. But again, I feel like we're moving to full-on surrender here, a total transformation of the situation. So I feel like you had to retreat, make peace with this on your own, and you might actually wind up coming back to this person, or not even, you don't even really have to have like an interaction with them. Maybe you just like hear about them or like see them from across the room at a family event or something, and you're just like, oh, I don't feel as upset about this as I thought I would. So I feel like you really surprised yourself there. And I love that for you, group number 2. Because trust me, I know I understand this dynamic, and it is not easy. And that's something I just keep from hearing. I keep hearing that from Spirit over and over, is like, we know this has not been easy. We're not trying to like, you know, sum this up and like diminish all of the work that you've done. This could be a years-long process that we're looking at, group number 2. So again, good for you for retreating to yourself. And now we're going to completely surrender. So let's get some advice about, you know, feeling less stuck, or maybe you know you're going to see this person over here soon, or you're afraid to, and so you're kind of like looking away or wanting to avoid them altogether. We haven't talked about the Knight of Swords, so I feel like this is your person when all this, you know, the source of the anger, or the angry one, maybe both. A Knight of Swords is someone who can be really hasty and sharp-tongued. So someone who doesn't think before they speak. They can be really harsh, and they just move through life as blazingly as possible. So they can be a little reckless. They may have hurt other people along the way. They're really just concerned with speed and like kind of cutting through everything to get what they want. So that's the type of personality that we're dealing with here. This would not be somebody, especially in this situation, who is super like emotionally and spiritually connected to themselves. It's really all about logic for them, and just like, I just feel like they've said some really hurtful things. And again, it could be a situation where you're not the only one, but you're really feeling the effects of it, and concerned that they may hurt you again. Okay. So let's get some advice for you here. We have the Spirit Animal deck out. I absolutely love this, especially for like relationship readings. Really clarifies the energies and what you can do. So let's focus for you, group number 2, on what you can control, what you can surrender and let go of. One of my absolute favorite cards in this deck, I'm gonna stop myself from picking him up right now, but the Otter. Oh, I feel like you've had to be very patient with this situation. Okay, we have the Frog. Beautiful. So I love the frog. That's a huge symbol of shamanism, and it signifies the ability to be able to walk between two worlds, or, you know, swim in the water and thrive on the land as well. So I feel like the first piece of advice that's coming in for you, group number 2, is to trust your ability to adjust to different situations. So you might find yourself trying to guess what you might hear about them, what you might hear from them. If you know you might see them, like, what would that be like? Like, I feel like you're trying to figure it out, and like practice what you're going to say or do. But I feel like it's just really raw. It's really intense for you. And Spirit's saying, like, you know, I understand why it feels maybe comforting to do that. But at the same time, I feel like you're just kind of maybe thinking in circles, and, you know, maybe it doesn't feel good after a while. But to trust yourself, you know, whether you see them or not, in rain or shine, in the water or on the land, whether they're here or whether they're not. I feel like you're going to be totally fine. I feel like you're going to surprise yourself about how unaffected by this person or this dynamic you are. So I absolutely love that for you. We also have Otter, who is so adorable. And this is all about being playful and focusing on laughter and what brings you joy. So rather than feeling totally trapped by this situation, by this dynamic, it just feels like this impending sense of doom for you. By the way, you would know by now if you were in this group. So like, it should be super clear if this is your group or not. But rather than focusing on all that, find ways to play through the holiday season. Maybe like go out for a drive and have some hot chocolate and look at Christmas lights outside, or if there's snow on the ground, flop down and make a snow angel. Like, play. Let yourself play and let yourself have fun. Group number 2. I don't always feel messages like this coming through all the time, but in your case, a positive distraction could go a really far way for you. Okay? I feel like we're feeling a little isolated, feeling a little bit stuck. So let's get out of that, reconnect with friends, and focus on laughing. Like, have a couple drinks if you want to. Who cares? Like, eat good food, go see a funny movie, goof off. Like, I'm really feeling that so strongly for you. Okay. Let's finish your reading out with all of the good stuff you have to look forward to. I feel like you've been shouldering this, you've been worrying about this for some time. You've been moving through, you're like getting there, you're about to release it, but the holidays can bring up a lot of stuff for all of us, myself very much included, so I totally get it. Okay, group number 2, let's get some divine abundance for you. By the end of the year, when you're having fun, you're doing all this good stuff, you decide to eat, drink, and be merry, whether this person is here or not, what other good stuff is coming in, is being illuminated for you? Interesting. Okay. You might have trouble deciding on a specific path, or if you're anything like me, just decisions in general can be tricky, especially when you're dealing with stuff like this. That's another additional message if you were unsure if this was your group or not. Okay, we have deepening with a kitty cat, and we have reframe. I feel like there's one more. Sacrifice. Okay. So, something beautiful that's coming in for you by the end of the year is an acknowledgement of your sacrifice that you've already made. So this could be a family member or like a child coming to you and saying, oh my gosh, I've just really realized everything you've done for me and I just want to say thank you. Or just an acknowledgement of work, time, could be blood, sweat, and tears, effort, a lot of your energy. A person is going to come to you and acknowledge you for that and say thank you. And I feel like it's going to be totally shocking to you. Totally something unexpected. Okay? And also with that, I feel there will be a deepening of that relationship and a deepening of that understanding. A kitty for me always means like best friend because I love kitties and we have 2. So this could be someone who's very, very close to you. So that's amazing. Maybe reconnect with them and go out and like have a great time. I love like wine and paint. I'm seeing stuff like that. And then with reframe, I feel like this is connected to the frog. It's like you might have a situation where this person, this anger like flares up, or like you hear somebody's name and you expect to like find something out that's upsetting, but then you don't. I feel like you've already reframed the way you think of this, the way you process this so deeply, you might not even realize how profoundly different you already are, how healed you already are. Okay. Wow, that is beautiful. This is the most transformative group so far, group number 2. So good for you. I absolutely love that you're processing this, you're dealing with this, but you're also making sure to have fun by the end of the year so you can start fresh in 2025. Love, love, love that for you. I will go ahead and step back from your energy at this time. Thank you so much for sharing your time and energy with me here tonight, and I hope to see you again very, very soon. Take care. Bye. Okay, last but not least, hello, group number 3. If you chose this beautiful sandstone bison straight from South Dakota, let's go ahead and start to get your messages about what is transforming in your life by the end of 2024. Before we dive in, I want to take this extra step to ask for your permission to lovingly connect with your energy and deliver Spirit's messages tonight. Okay, if you said yes, I hope you're still here. Cool, awesome. That step to me just makes the reading so much more powerful and clear. So for you, group number 3, the symbol of the bison for me is always extremely spiritual. So I feel like you are my spiritual group out of all 3, so I expect to see some personal or spiritual transformations for you. But let me not get too ahead of myself. Let's see what Spirit says. So for group number 3, what is transforming for them by the end of 2024? Okay. Feeling the number 3. Well, let's see how many that is. We're going to reserve these as some parting messages to the side, but we're going to start with the 3 that flipped face up. Okay, we have mutable moon, nothing is yet set in stone. Waning moon, what do you need to release? And new moon in Virgo, a time to give rather than take. Just going to set these up to make sure you can see everything. Okay. So I feel like you've been doing a lot of soul searching recently, or maybe just rethinking older decisions. So for example, like a career you've had for a while, or a relationship you've been in for a while, or even a dynamic with a family member that's been the same for a while, because these images have a lot of similarities here. The moon is very similarly shaped. We have these like organic shapes in the scenery, and I'm feeling a lot of solitary reflection for you, group number 3. And Spirit wants to remind you that whatever's happening right now is not permanent, okay? It is changeable. And, posing a question again, what do you need to release? I brought this up in, I think, the intro of this video in one other group, but a big thing for me with manifesting and full moon, supermoon energy, which we're sitting in right now, is releasing and making room for a manifestation to come in. So especially if you're thinking about starting something new, getting a new job, transforming, an existing important relationship to you, there's a need to kind of like wipe the slate clean first, so there is room for new stuff to come in. I just got like Marie Kondo vibes. So like reorganizing a physical space, you got to take all the stuff out to see like how much space you have to work with, to understand like, do containers make sense in here? Do I just need to fold things a different way? So all of that is made possible through an understanding of like, hey, I'm not stuck in this situation. And also, maybe I need to let some stuff go and make room for new things to come in. And then we have new moon in Virgo. Huge message of Virgo for me is that you are worthy, you are enough. A lot of self-love energy in Virgo, earth energy. So again, all of this feels like this inner world that you've been kind of sitting in or getting curious about. Maybe you've been doing it for a while. Maybe you've just decided, hey, I need to start journaling again, or I need to start spending time by myself again. It could be that you've been giving so much, so much, that you don't have a whole lot left for yourself at the end of the day. Okay, let's start to get some tarot on the table. Take a look at some dynamics that might be going on to cause all of these feelings or need for self-reflection, and assess the situation from there. Okay, so wow. For group number 3, you got your 3 cards immediately. You saw that. You saw that. Okay? That did not happen for any other group. So if you've been asking for messages, I feel like your spirit guides, your angels, ancestors, however you want to think about it, they are like dying to talk to you. The messages came like boom, so fast. So just know that if you are lying awake or if you're asking like, hey, do you even hear me? What the heck is going on? They absolutely do. Maybe we just need to spend a little of time, extra time, to reconnect with that spiritual energy. Because just like anything, meditation or talking to spirit, receiving messages, it's like a muscle. It's something that is practiced. It's something that's exercised. Okay, so it's not like you've lost it or just because there's a quieter time, that doesn't mean it's not happening. You just might not be perceiving it in this very moment. You might look back and go, oh, wait a minute, that's right. Okay, so for you, we have the Knight of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, and Strength. Okay. So, okay, I've got a pretty specific message here. I will patiently wait and ask Spirit if there's another subgroup here because I'm wondering if this is my group. So just bear with me. Group number 3. For some of you, there's a wedding, okay? Myself included. This card specifically is about weddings and about like family events that, or new family structures. The number 4 is about like foundation, but basically like a party, a reason to celebrate. In this marriage, I'm seeing 2 different people. I'm seeing you as Strength and your partner as Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is someone who's extremely reliable, really, really good at physical material resources. So they're good at work. They're good at handling money. They're good at handling the house. Just like earthly things are no problem for the Knight of Pentacles. What he says is what he does. So you can count on the Knight of Pentacles, and he moves one step at a time. He takes things one day at a time. So he is such a grounding presence, someone who's extremely loving and loyal. Very, very strong presence in the relationship or marriage that we're looking at here. And then Strength, I'm feeling like is you, group number 3. This is someone who has overcome a lot in their lives. Interesting. So maybe past life stuff is coming up here as well. But as you can see, she's not taming the lion with brute force. She's using loving understanding and this universal energy and awareness. It's like spiritual strength. It's like a heart of gold is what the Strength card means to me. And it could be that entering this marriage or relationship, or even like supporting a marriage that you're seeing taking place, has taken a lot of personal fortitude. You could be overcoming beliefs that you have about marriage in general, or like what works, quote unquote, in a relationship. Or if you're like me, you've had some really challenging relationships in life, and like challenging beliefs about divine masculines in general, and overcoming that is quite a lot. So I feel like, to round that all out, sorry, I feel like I rambled a little bit. There's this big, beautiful event happening. You're either planning it or it's happening by the end of the year. And it's so exciting. It's so amazing. It's awesome. But I feel like it's brought up a lot of personal stuff that surprised you. Yeah. I feel like you are absolutely where you need to be. I feel like this event or relationship, whatever you're celebrating, that you've been reflecting a lot on, is totally divinely aligned with you. I feel like it's part of your purpose, honestly. Because like, look at the garland that you're dressed with in this card. It looks very similar to the garland here that the couple just got married under. And he even has like green plumes here and on the horse too. Wow. I almost want to cry. Yeah, I'm definitely part of this group. Also, all of the yellow, group number 3, in your tarot cards, I mean, there are some like, we're using like regular Rider-Waite tarot, and like, look at the bottom, like there are some not yellow cards in this deck. There's some pretty intense cards, and you got beautiful cards. So if you've been worrying about this, planning it, just like grappling with it, just know that like it's part of the process. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. This is all meant to be. And I know that that's hard to accept. I know that's hard to hear sometimes. Even like, you know, I'm a freaking shaman and tarot reader, and sometimes I don't want to hear that either, but like that's really true. It's really true, group number 3. I feel like it's like you're gonna be happy whether you like it or not. Like, you're gonna have an amazing time whether you like it or not. That's the main message I'm getting here with your group. So again, a lot of people, this is marriage. It could be a marriage that you are like part of supporting. Maybe you're like in the wedding party or something like that. Or just this huge family event celebration going on. Okay, let's get a couple clarifiers. If that was strength again, I'm gonna freak out. I'm pretty sure I saw that. Okay, we'll take these. Your spirit guides want to talk to you, group number 3. Angels, ancestors, again, whatever works for you, totally fine. Whoever it is you talk to, they want to talk to you. You saw all those cards flip out. And it's strength again. Okay, here we go. So many synchronicities for you, group number 3. I feel like if you're having trouble finding the time to talk to your guides, or like meditate or spend time with yourself, some things you can do are invite symbols like, hey, could you send me an obvious sign today? I just want to be able to perceive your presence again. It could be like a departed loved one you're wanting to connect with, or whatever. I feel like that's a really easy way to reconnect with spirit and with yourself. You can also ask for messages to come through during your sleep. That's a really easy one too. So if you lay your head down on your pillow, just like affirm, like, I am open to receiving spirit's messages tonight. I would love to perceive you. And then boom, there you go. That way it doesn't feel like another task. You know what I mean? We also have passion, disruption, and abundance. I mean, come on. I know it's been kind of a lot lately, but This is amazing, group number 3. It really, truly is. I feel like the relationship is so strong. It is so solid. This is like really, truly love. This is real, true love, passion. I just feel like when you met, you knew each other before. There's just a deep knowing. There's just this deep recognition. This is it. This is my person. It's just like, and then it just starts happening. And like, for me, it happened really fast. And so maybe you're in a similar situation to me where you're like, oh my gosh, am I really thinking this through? Do I need to like release anything? And like, girl, if you need to release anything, it's like your belief about how relationships go, or maybe what's happened to you in the past. Like, I feel like this is totally different. You're disrupting a pattern. So if you're like me and you've chosen a lot of not right people to give your energy to, that is not happening again, okay? There's no need to be concerned about that. I totally understand it, but it is something that we can let go of because you have disrupted that pattern. And I feel like your family, like your friends, everyone around you sees it. They can see how much you are so in love, you're so happy. So it's really, really obvious to everyone else. But I understand, there's a lot of, it can feel like a lot of pressure if you're planning all of it too. But also, I feel like you're in a good spot too, financially, which we always love to see that. So you could either be receiving a lot of gifts or getting a lot of great deals. If you are a bride like I am, make sure to remember Black Friday, Cyber Monday to buy stuff if you're getting decorations for your event, for your ceremony, or however you are going to do it is totally perfect. Okay. I really resisted my guides. Like, it can't be that this is just a marriage group, that this is just a pile of people all getting married. But like, I feel like that's most of us. You're either the bride or groom, or you're a person getting married, or you're a person like watching it and you're like super involved in it. Okay, that's just kind of is what it is. All right, let's circle back to these 2 that fell out early on to round out your reading. Let's get some advice to accept how good things are and maybe get out of your own way a little bit, okay? You are very close to achieving your goal, gibbous moon. Your commitment is being tested, first quarter moon. Okay. So I feel like sometimes I feel like the universe can say to you, are you really ready for this? Are you ready to allow yourself to be happy? Or in this case, to be helped. It could be that you're feeling the need to do a lot on your own, to shoulder a lot of the financial burden, the planning burden, all of it. And I feel like Spirit's like wanting to disrupt these feelings of like, being independent and not needing anybody else. So Spirit's like, are you sure that that's what you want? Because there's people here, there's like family members, friends who want to connect with you and help you and celebrate you. I'm hearing like, let them, okay? Big takeaway message for you, group number 3. And you're very close to achieving your goal. If you are at all concerned about the way things will actually shake out, I'm seeing nothing but beauty for you. On the actual day, during the actual event, and afterwards as well. One more for my group number 3s. Trust. I know it's hard. Allow me, divine, to give you my deepest longings, trusting you know exactly how to handle them. And really, I'm feeling just like wanting to feel safe and loved. And you are group number 3. I feel like it's just needing to accept it and let it happen, okay? You're doing amazing. I love this for you. Just let it happen. Let yourself be loved. Let yourself be helped. Congratulations. Wow. That was a big one, group number 3, for you and me alike. So thank you so much for sharing that moment with me. I really, really appreciate it. I just feel such a deep connection right now. I will go ahead and step back from your energy at this time because I know you're super busy, just like I am. I totally get it. But sending tons of love and light to you. You have got this. We are almost done with 2024. Just one more push, and you've just got all of this beauty right on the other side of it, okay? So thank you so much for joining me for the reading tonight. I appreciate your time and energy, and I'm so looking forward to seeing you in the next reading. Take good care of yourself. Bye.